Okay, so before we start, something you will need to do is to download the payer quality dataset from Google Classroom, and also make sure your machine has the most recent version of iNZight on it. So the most recent version is split into the iNZight icon and the VIT icon. So we're going to be working in iNZight just to begin with. So if you open it up, and then let's just make this a bit bigger. Okay, it's just thinking. Here we go. So I'm just going to resize it to fit onto my screen so that you can see. Now the first thing that we need to do is to import the data set. So if we go to File and Import Data, I know I've saved mine on the desktop, which is a bit naughty, but it's just so I can easily find it to show you. So I'm going to import that data, and to begin with I'm going to draw some box and whiskers graphs and dot plots, and then I'm also going to show you how to manipulate the data set. So the first thing we were interested in was the gender pay gap, so I'm going to choose sex and income, and you can see there that that draws up a dot plot and box and whiskers graph to show the difference between male and female incomes. If I click down under Get Summary, you can see that it calculates summary statistics. So you've got things like the quartiles, or 25% is lower quartile and 75% is upper quartile, min, max, median, mean, and also standard deviation, which is another measure of spread other than interquartile range. Please, you must be using these specific numbers. Don't be looking at your graph and estimating what the median is. It is not appropriate. Okay, so that's in its simplest form. Now, you might be interested in something else other than gender. Perhaps you would be interested in qualification. And when I select that variable, you can see that actually there are so many different types of qualification that it becomes too difficult for us to compare. And so what we need to do is reshape the data set. So what we're going to do, we'll go up here to where it says data set, and we're going to filter the data set. Now, because I'm interested in just two, I'm going to choose maybe the difference between degree level and school level. So it's a categorical variable, it's not a number. So I'm going to choose a categorical variable, and it's filtering by qualification, and I'm interested in degree. I have to hold Control to choose another one. So Control and school, and then filter data, and it will update. So now I have people who hold a degree and their income, and people who hold a school certificate and their income. Okay, so that's one. If you were choosing to work with this data set as for your internal, you would also need to be able to access this filtered data set under the VIT module. And so what we're going to do is we're going to export that into iNZight so you can use it in the other module. So we'll go to File and Export Data. You need to specify a file. So just under here, you're going to call it something. I've already done this once, so I called mine school and degree, but you can call it anything. You can call it internal, you can call it whatever you want. Use this file, it doesn't matter, it's saving under your iNZight. Okay, so click on OK, OK again, and that will have exported it for use in the VIT module. Now, you might also be interested in these ages, and right now the age groups are given in intervals of 5 years. So I want to show you how you can manipulate that so that you have two different age categories as opposed to age that they have written down here. So for this one, we'll go to variables, and it's a numerical variable. And we're actually going to form intervals. So the variable I'm interested in is age group, and you can call it whatever you want, but it's easier if you just stick to the name they suggest and just remember that that's what it is. You can choose equal width intervals, or you can choose specific intervals. So I'm going to go with specific ones, because I was thinking maybe people under 40 versus people over 40. So that's what I'm going to go with. 40 is going to be the cutoff. And it says okay, so that's the last. I'm just going to look across there. There it is. So I should be able to just drag this in. So this is the age group 15 to 40, and this is the age group 40 to 65. Actually, doesn't look like there's very much difference there, but again, you could still carry out that analysis because it might be something you're really interested in, or you can find a really good purpose for. So that's just a little bit about how to manipulate the data set, how to export it, and how to get your summary statistics. Have a play around with this data set, draw as many different graphs as you can, and just get a feel for what the menus up here can do.